It is the one night of the year where the WWE goes extreme. And this Sunday night, the superstars of Monday Night Raw will indeed go to the extreme, including 5 men who will lay it all on the line for a golden opportunity at the Beast Incarnate and the Universal Championship. This is Extreme Rules. Hello, friends, and welcome to this very special edition of Ridiculously Raw. It is the preview of WWE Extreme Rules. This time around, it is exclusive to Monday Night Raw. Normally, we do these shows on Saturday night, but the only problem is this particular go-around, Michael Bullock will be at the Special Olympics State Summer Games this Saturday, and Michael Fletcher will be up at Buffalo Wild Wings checking out UFC 212, which we'll preview tomorrow night on Strictly Sports. But in order to accommodate them, we decided to do this to bump up the preview show to tonight, and that's exactly what we've done. So I don't know if the fourth member of our panel, the Twisted Angel and First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Dee Dee Woodson, is going to be joining us. I sent out the invite to her. If she joins us, we'll catch her up on what she missed. But if not, then the three of us will just have a go-around at it. So it's one of the shorter cards this time around. We only have 6 matches officially announced. So we're just going to run off that, and we'll see how we feel. So let's start it off with our first match here. It's a mixed tag team match. We got the Boss, Sasha Banks, teaming up with Rich Swann, and they're going to go up against Alicia Fox and Noam Dar. Okay, it would be surprising to me if Banks remained involved in this storyline past Sunday. She is so much better than this. And with Bayley failing as a main eventer on the Raw brand, WWE needs a new number one contender, particularly by the time SummerSlam rolls around in a couple months. Both the Banks and Fox feud and the new pairing between the Boss and Swann have somewhat overachieved in terms of their expected entertainment value. That doesn't mean, however, there's enough reason to care about how this bout ends. Ultimately, if the heat continues to build for the women toward a future payoff, it will be a success. So, to me, I think this is going to be the worst fight of the night, if I'm going to be real honest with you. But flip of the coin, I'm going to go with Sasha Banks and Rich Swann to pick up the Duke in this one. So, we got Dee Dee Woodson. Okay, wonderful. So, all right. So, nonetheless, I got Rich Swann and Sasha Banks picking up the W in this one. So, good old MF, Michael Fletcher, come on in, the Cerebral Smack Talk host here. This mixed tag team match, honestly, this does not belong on the main card as far as I'm concerned. This is more of a kickoff fight than anything else, but it's on the main card anyway. Pick us the winner.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm with you, Anthony Florio. I'm actually gonna go with Rich Swann and Sasha Banks as well. I think with everything that was going into the storyline and everything else, it kind of was really rushed, but they needed to do something for Alicia Fox because of the fact that Noam Dar and her has been together for a little bit. And at first, I thought it was going to be maybe like a Cedric Alexander being in this, but Rich Swann come out of nowhere, and I like his character. I like him as a cruiserweight in the division. At the end of the day, I'm with you. I think, with Sasha, I think, everybody was saying, they got to turn Sasha heel and this and that. I don't think they're going to do it now. I think because of with everything that was happening, especially with Bayley and her struggling to connect with the WWE universe, and we'll get into the women's title fight later on in the evening. But I'm with you guys. I'm going to go with Rich Swann and Sasha Banks to win the match. At once we get through that, then I don't know. Does Sasha try to propel herself into a heel attitude, and that sets up for something at SummerSlam? Or maybe in this instant you stick to your guns and stick with what you got. So I don't know. I mean, at first I'm thinking Sasha turning heel would probably be the best thing for her, but you're gonna need a top face in Monday Night Raw in the women's division, and you know I'm gonna tip my hand later on about the way I think the women's title fight will go, but we'll wait and see what happens there. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you, my friend.
Yeah, I do agree. I think this is going to be the worst fight of the night. I mean, I do agree at the end match that should have been on the kickoff show and not on the main card, but you never know. Maybe there's another match that could be on the kickoff show, maybe the Sunday. But yeah, I mean, Sasha Banks. I think we're all in agreement here. I mean, she's better than this. It was back in October when she was in the main event of Hell in a Cell and part of the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match, and then at Roadblock, and she was part of the first women's Iron Man match, and now she's basically been reduced to this. No, I don't like it one bit, but yeah, I mean, but you got to be quite honest. I mean, you gotta like some of the you gotta like them doing those dance moves together on Raw this past Monday night. So, but yeah, but I'm not gonna get any further details on it. I too I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks and Rich Swann to win this. So nothing else to say. So Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, come on in and give us your 2 cents on this mixed tag team match.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the best match either. I think it's going to probably be one of the worst of the night. But I will go with the rest of you and say Sasha and Swan will win. Not much more I have to say about it, especially since half of them are cruiserweights and half of them are women. I mean, I don't see why they're tying the two together, but that's just my opinion. So, to you, Florio.
All right. And speaking of cruiserweights, we're gonna move on. Oh boy, this is one I'm looking forward to. Submission match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Adrian Neville defending the title one more time against Austin Aries. Gorilla MF, Michael Fletcher. Lucky you get to start off on this one. I mean, this Cruiserweight feud has been money. I mean, the match at WrestleMania was incredible. Payback, well, maybe not as much, but it was still good anyway. But your feeling, is this the time for Austin Aries, or is Neville going to remain the king of the Cruiserweights?
I don't know, man. You really would have thought at WrestleMania that this was going to be Aries' moment, and it wasn't. Then we thought, at Payback, it was going to be Aries' moment, and it wasn't. So do I go down the well one more time, go down that rabbit hole one more time, like Michael Bullock would say, and try to say that Austin Aries is going to win the title again? Um, it's basically the Rings of Saturn versus the Last Chancery. So, I mean, it depends on who gets their submission hold first. And we've already seen the Last Chancery already locked on by A Double, and he's done it pretty well. And yes, you've seen what Adrian Neville with the Rings of Saturn and his finish and his submission maneuver. So it just kind of depends on, what the direction's gonna go. But I kind of got this weird feeling that this rivalry is gonna go one more round. So for that, I believe that when it's all said and done, I think Adrian Neville will win the match, successfully defend the title, and remain the king of the cruiserweights as the cruiserweight champion of the world. So there's really nothing more to say on that. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Oof, this is a tough one for me to decide. I mean, I've been going back and forth on this for a while. I mean, do I go with the king of the cruiserweights, or do I go with a double? I mean, we both have predicted Austin Aries to win it the first two times they faced each other, and both times we've. Well, the thing is, I mean, Neville did win at WrestleMania, but Austin Aries did win, but it was by disqualification. Let's not forget about that. So something has to give this time around. So it's a tough one, but you know what? I'm going to take my chances, and I think the third time is going to be the charm. I think this time around, Austin Aries is going to win and become your new cruiserweight champion. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Neville's had a really good run with the cruiserweight championship since winning it at the Royal Rumble. But I think this is finally the time that WWE needs to pull the trigger on this and put the cruiserweight belt on Austin Aries, and then I think the rubber match of this I think the last match could eventually come somewhere down the line, where yeah, we'll just have to wait and see when will that be the case. So I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going with Austin Aries to become your new cruiserweight champion. I got this feeling this time around it's going to happen. So, Florio, I'm going to give it to you.
All right. Of course, as you know, Didi Woodson doesn't really comment on cruiserweight matches. This is one time I kind of wish he did, because this is going to be an amazing, amazing bout, honestly. It's, yeah. Anyways, it is, yeah, I'll give you guys that. It is a tough one to predict. I mean, this is Aries' third opportunity at the title, which means it should be the last if he loses. The problem is that there's no one else besides Cedric Alexander, or I should say the just returning Cedric Alexander, in the cruiserweight division to truly challenge Adrian Neville. And even that would be a relatively fresh development. This match was incredible on the WrestleMania kickoff show, and a little less so at Payback. The only way to continue this rivalry is with a new champion. This feud, which dates back before WrestleMania, doesn't get the week-to-week love it deserves. The most recent build-up has been as good as what we saw before, with Aries tapping out Neville on Monday night. For as good as Aries has been as a foil, his future might be better served on the main roster in the long run. So, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But besides, like I said, I think the only way to continue this rivalry is with a new champion. And I think this should be finally the time for A-Double to finally get his moments. So I'm going to go with Michael Bullock, and I'm going to say Austin Aries wins this match with the last chancery, finally gets his moment, becomes the new cruiserweight champion, and then we can, get yet another match between these two. Maybe on a future Monday Night Raw, maybe even on a future 205 Live. Or do you want to save it until the next Raw pay-per-view, which is next month, the Great Balls of Fire event in Dallas? So we'll see. But I'm going with Aries to win this, and this is going to be one of my top fights of the night for sure. This is going to be a beauty, no doubt about it. All right, now we're going to go to the Raw Tag Team Championship. Inside the confines of a steel cage, champions Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys, or as we call them, Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero, to defend the titles one more time against challengers and former Raw Tag Team Champions in their own right, Sheamus and Cesaro. It's Brother Bullock who gets to start this one off. So, Brother Bullock, I ask you, are we going to be celebrating with some sauteed green beans yet again? Or will the party be over with those scoundrels, Sheamus and Cesaro, becoming champions again?
Yes, this is definitely gonna be another one of the top fights of the night for sure. Yeah, this should be a really good tag team title match, especially when you have it inside the confines of a 15-foot high steel cage, and yeah, I mean, we saw these two obviously go at it at Payback, and the Hardys successfully defended the titles. But then, of course, yeah, the turn from the heel turn of Sheamus and Cesaro, and yeah, so obviously, of course, they had like a singles match, and which one of the Hardys won, and that's what and they decided they wanted it to be a steel cage match. So yeah, so it should be really good. So I am going to go with the Hardy Boys to remain your Raw Tag Team Champions, as they will delete Sheamus and Cesaro. And you know what that means, Florio? When the Hardy Boys do retain the tag team titles?
What does it mean, Brother Bullock?
Pull it up, man.
Oh, okay. Yep, I'm on it.
All
I
right.
know. We know what this means. You know what it means.
Yeah, you know what it means.
Everybody
folks.
knows what it means.
Guys,
When
you
the
know what it
Hardys
means,
successfully
Florio?
defend
Pull it up. What happens when the Hardys win?
Hang on, I'm trying to get it.
Oh.
Yep, almost there. But,
All right.
Okay. All right, now.
Yep.
Like,
let me
Brother
say it. Let
Bullock
me say it
was,
now. Yep. You know what happens when the Hardys win?
You know what happens. Hit it. Saute.
Saute green beans for everyone.
everyone.
Yes. So Sheamus and Cesaro, you will be deleted.
Yes.
Dee Woodson, what says you?
Yeah, I think the Hardys are gonna win it. I don't think it's time for Sheamus and Cesaro to take the titles back. So
It's
yeah.
time for them to be deleted.
Delete. That's all we're gonna see Sunday night is them deleting the competition over and over and over as they jump off the top of the steel cage several times and take them to Hardyville. So, not much more I have to say about it. So, Florio, it's yours.
I agree with Brother Bullock and Sister Woodson, no doubt about it. The broken heart is we're gonna see that broken brilliance inside that cage of steel. Yes. And when they do, we will break out the most delightful, succulent, delectable treat that is in all of mankind. Sauteed green beans for everyone. Yes. And one other thing that happens. Brother Angelo is going to have a special song for those scoundrels known as Sheamus and Cesaro. But before I get into that, let me just say it like this. Consistency has been the enduring legacy of this build since WrestleMania. In the process, it has showcased just how far Sheamus and Cesaro have come from their forced original pairing to close their best of 7 series to their repackaged heel gimmick today. Some would say it's time to put the belts on them, and some would say it will sadly send the Hardys back to full-time Nostalgiaville. But I continue to be surprised how much I enjoy the pairing of Sheamus and Cesaro. And they're running on all cylinders. The look, the drastically underrated entrance, and the in-ring chemistry. And, well, we'll wait and see. But there's no doubt this will be one of the top fights of the night for sure. But even though some are actually calling for Sheamus and Cesaro to actually win the belts, what good would that do? I mean, yeah, we would get another match between these two teams, but who else do we have in the Raw Tag Team division? I mean, the Revival, but Wilder is still I think is slowly recovering from that jaw injury. I mean, did you see that metal mount of his? Oof, scary. That's all I can say on that. And of course, all these other teams are on SmackDown Live, and of course, Enzo and Cass are apparently on their way to Splitsville because of that mystery attacker storyline. And the plan apparently is calling for Big Cass to be the one to be revealed as the attacker, and setting up for a big time heel turn for him, which I think will do him wonders. But that's a story for another day. But right now, I got to go with the Hardys. They're the hot team right now. I mean, ever since they came back, they haven't even lost a match. They haven't lost any tag team matches. They haven't lost any singles matches, 6-man tag, what have you. Every match they've been in since they've returned, they've found a way to win. I don't see how that doesn't end. I don't see how that doesn't continue Sunday nights. So give me the Hardys to successfully defend the Raw Tag Team Championship. So MF, are we going to make it unanimous or what?
No, we're going to make it unanimous. I got the Hardy Boys winning the match and successfully defending the title. I'm not doing the song of the night. I don't care who you are. I'm not doing the song of the night. I'm saving that for Sunday night. You know, I only do it for a Hardy Boys win. I don't do it for previews. So if you were hoping for me to do it, sorry guys, not tonight. I will say this. I think it'll be a good match. I think it's a solid fight. Would I be stunned if Cesaro and Sheamus actually wins the belts? No, I'm not. I think they could win the titles. I think I love their heel turn. I loved what they did when they took down the Hardys and did what they did. And I like their heel gimmick now to cause the friction, the chaos, the war that they have created. And, you know, we've seen 2 singles matches. Both times the Hardys won it. Matt won one individually. Jeff won one individually. And it kind of felt like, oh, man, you know, Booking 101 would tell you maybe we're looking at a new a possible title switch. But I don't think it's there yet. The one I'm still holding true to my belief that the one team that's gonna upend and win the Raw Tag Team Championship from the Hardys is the Revival. Now, I know right now one of the Revival, like you said, has a broken jaw. His jaw's wired shut. Not a good time to be right now. So give him a little bit of some time. Give him a chance. And I know a lot of people at first were thinking, oh, they were going to be the perpetrators. They were going to be the reason why Enzo got laid out. Maybe they still go that angle, or maybe they do what Anthony alluded to say that Big Cass is the perpetrator. He was the one that did it all along, and we go from there. Whatever the case may be, this has been enjoyable. I've loved the storyline since day one, and I'm so happy with the way that it's been playing. Now it's just, how does it come out? What does it going to look like at the end of the night? And for me, the only logical scenario that I see is that the winner of the bout and still the Raw Tag Team Champions are the Hardy Boys. And then at that point, we're going to get the salty green beans for everyone. Even though I hate sauteed green beans. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a party pooper, but I don't like green beans, man. No. If it was something else, I might ride with you. But this is the one time where I got to jump off the green bean bandwagon. When it's sauteed green beans, you know it is? It's Mike Fletcher palm face time. And you've seen that before. So... But I will do the song. I will do it because, of course, you guys love when I do it. So I'll do it for you guys on Sunday night. If the Hardys do win, I'm just going to say we're going to have some obsoletions that's going to happen that will lead to deletion more than anything else. We're going to have a couple of obsolete mules I'm going to have to be giving the quote-unquote the last rites to. And, well, they will fade away. And nothing more to say about that. Anthony Flair, it's all yours, my friend.
Oh, how do you follow that? Oh, boy. Well, I know a good way to do that. How about we move on to a Singapore cane on a pole match for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss defending the title against Bayley. It's only fitting that Dee Dee Woodson actually leads off on this. She is our women's wrestling expert after all. So Dee Dee Woodson aside from that god awful segment,
I was just going to say, Florio, please don't bring that up again, because I got a feeling if you do,
aside from
Dee Woodson's going to go off.
And we don't want her to do that. So pretend like that never happened, even though it did. So Dee Woodson, as we started off with you here, does the reign of 5 Feet of Fury continue, or does the lovable sweetheart from San Jose get her comeuppance and get the title back?
I'm going Alexa Bliss on this. I think she'll probably end up winning it. A rumor that we've heard is that WWE got really embarrassed by that segment that we all don't want me to talk about, and that they're kind of trying to erase it from history, which I think is a good idea because, yeah, you don't want me to get into that. So, but yeah, I don't see Bayley winning this, even if she does get to use the Singapore cane, kendo stick, whatever you want to call it. I don't see her winning this. I see Alexa, hanging on to it. I mean, why make her a paper champion when she had, one of the longest reigns on SmackDown with it? So, but it's going to be a very, very good match. Very interesting to see how it turns out. See if we're actually right on this. So, Florio, it's yours.
Of course, I'm going to go with my future ex-wife. Why not? I mean, she is the best thing going on Monday Night Raw right now. The crown jewel of SmackDown Live, now the crown jewel of Monday Night Raw, and I know it still makes MF, very heated, if I do say so myself. But, well, if recent booking is any indication, it would seem Bayley is being set up to go over, gain her comeuppance, and regain the Raw Women's Championship. But Bliss' recent work since coming to Raw has simply been too strong to see that happen. Look for WWE to play up the Bayley's not extreme enough storyline while keeping the title where it belongs at the same time. I am not saying a full heel turn is coming, but Bayley just might snap, and a good way to tell the story would be for it to cost her the title. Now, as much as I love Bayley and as much as I love her in NXT, her time on the main roster has been wasted as WWE rushed her push and never built her up as the lovable underdog. Giving her the championship again would provide her character with nowhere to go, whereas a loss would potentially allow for her to be rebuilt from the ground up after being beaten and dominated by Bliss on a few occasions. Bliss is the star of the women's division in WWE right now, and the title makes her even stronger. So there is absolutely no doubt about this whatsoever. Winner and still your Raw Women's Champion, the crown jewel, my future ex-wife, Alexa Bliss. So, MF, I know it's been killing you, but your former crown jewel on SmackDown Live, now the crown jewel of Monday Night Raw, I'm sure it remains that way on Sunday night in your eyes, correct?
I think so too. And actually, apropos, Dee Woodson putting that photo of the reigning, defending, undisputed Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, the 5 Feet of Fury, on our screen right now. If you guys can see it at the bottom of the screen. No, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say about that god-awful segment. Many people calling it the worst segment of the year on Monday Night Raw, and it clearly was. No doubt about it. A lot of people turned on Alexa Bliss too. And that really, it really brought her stock down. And I don't know if that was deliberate or just out of nowhere because she was so red hot that maybe by putting her in that horrific segment that knocked her down a few pegs, that gives an opportunity for Bayley to win the belt. I mean, I don't know, because I'm going to tell you, the IWC and even myself Anthony and Mike Bullock, and I'll even admit, maybe even Dee Dee Woodson, we were loving the body of work of Alexa. That's why when I found out when we saw the Superstar shakeup and when she went from SmackDown to Raw, oh heck yeah, I was heated. I was furious. I was like, you snatched our top gal from Monday from Friday from SmackDown Live. Of course I'm gonna get ticked. So I was very angry. But at the end of the day, this had to be done. This was what needed to happen. And now it's just what's going to happen now. At the end of the day, like I said, was it a calculated move? Did somebody had an axe to, did one of the writers maybe had an axe to grind with Alexa and thought that this was going to be a great, here's a great idea. Let's do this. This is your life thing. And, because of the way it was so badly executed with, either with the teacher or the two people or whatever, and it was just so like out of character and just left us with such a bitter taste in the mouth. Maybe that's why it happened. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, it was a major letdown. It was a major heartbreak. And for me and for a lot of us, it like anybody who was on the Alexa Bliss bandwagon jumped ship quicker than the Titanic. I mean, let's be realistic. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to be like with this, how it's going to play out. I want Alexa to win it. I want her to win it. I think she deserves it because I'm going to be real honest with you, and I'm going to shock a few people, and I might even anger a few people in the room. But I think she's starting to become, I hate to say this, but I think she's starting to become a ho-hum. And it's not her. It's just the way they've been booking her. But because of what they did, having her come out so red hot, winning the title, but then after losing it after her losing it to Alexa the way she did, but she never really got another big moment. Yes, the biggest moment of her life was she won the fight at WrestleMania, and that was supposed to be the pinnacle of her moment. But because of the body of work of Alexa Bliss and what she has brought the women's title on Raw, she elevated it to levels that maybe the Diva Revolution created, which was Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. When they first came out, everybody wanted them to get the belt. When Charlotte had the belt, when Sasha had the belt, it was awesome. Then Bayley gets it, and you're thinking, oh great, now we're going to be rising the level. I'm going to say it. Right now, Alexa has raised that belt to be even more prominent, more pinnacle than ever before. And I'm sorry, she is too red hot right now that if to take the belt off her would be one of the biggest mistakes on Monday Night Raw. I mean, it was one thing for Raw to take her away from SmackDown and have her, on their show. They would do an absolute disservice if they take the belt off the 5 Feet of Fury. I'm sorry, man. She's too red hot. She's too amazing right now. Anything less would be an injustice. I'm calling it right now. She's my female wrestler of the year. But there is a competitor on NXT that would definitely beg to differ, which is Asuka, because of what she has done, with the successful title defense, how she's never lost a match up to this point and has kept the belt for almost 180 something times. She's like at 184 right now and still counting. To me, Alexa Bliss is without a doubt the best thing that has ever happened to Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry. She's better than Bayley, better than Sasha, better than any woman on that roster you can throw at. Maybe Asuka would be the main exception to the rule. But I believe when it's all said and done, the winner of the bout and still Raw Women's Champion, the Twisted Bliss herself, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want Dee Dee Whitson after me for that. I was going to call her something, but I'm not going to do it. 5 Feet of Fury, the delightful, the adorable Alexa Bliss, still women's champion. Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Well, all I can say is, Fletch, you probably angered some members of the Hugger section when you said that that Bayley is whole hum, but I'm not gonna go as far as you say it, but I don't think it's her fault. I think it's it's WWE creative that's made her look so terrible, and
I agree with that. No, I definitely agree with that.
I mean, I think that segment, not only did a disservice to Alexa Bliss, but I think it also did a disservice to Bayley, because they just made Bayley look like a freaking tool, for goodness sakes, and that's the one thing that's really got me all pissed off about it. But there's really nothing more to say. I mean, I'm gonna make it unanimous among everybody. I got Alexa Bliss winning and retaining the Raw Women's Championship, but I do agree. I mean, she's been the hottest woman on maybe on the entire women's division right now, and I think it is, with the exception of Asuka over at NXT. I think she would probably disagree with us, but out of all the women on Raw and SmackDown, I gotta say she's the best out of the entire women's division right now. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Alexa Bliss wins and retains the Raw Women's Championship. So nothing more to say. Florio, let's just move on.
And before we do, I have to correct MF on a little something. Do you know how long Asuka has been the NXT Women's Champion as of today? Try 423 days, MF. 423.
But wait a minute. But the thing is, I'm talking about the overall record. I'm not talking about days. She's won 184 consecutive matches.
Okay.
He's not talking about the days. She's talking about the matches that she's been in it.
Yep. Because she broke the record of Bill Goldberg. I think it was like the 171. She broke that not too long ago, and as of now, she's at 184 and still counting.
Yes, sir.
So that's the difference. I'm not talking about the number of days she held the belt. Okay. I was talking about the number of victories consecutive she's had.
Okay, I stand
Make
corrected.
a note.
All right, stand corrected. Fair enough. So, and the Goldberg streak was 173-0 before Kevin Nash took him down at the Starrcade in '98. But it's a story for another day. But we'll see what happens. But now let's move on to our next match. This is for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Dean Ambrose defending against The Miz, with the caveat: if Dean Ambrose gets disqualified, he will lose the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship to The Miz. Now, this feud, of course, carries over from SmackDown Live. Remember, the very first SmackDown Live of 2017, Dean Ambrose won the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship from The Miz. And he's been champion since. Although many felt that he should have lost that title at WrestleMania to Baron Corbin. I'm one of them. But, it is what it is. But this is an easy one for me. I'm calling for a new champion here. I mean, why in the world would WWE make this ridiculous stipulation and not have it serve its purpose? Why do I get this feeling Ambrose is going to get disqualified? Miz is going to push his buttons to the point where he'll snap, and then he'll get disqualified, and the Miz will win the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. I mean, we saw this at Money in the Bank 2011 when Christian basically pushed Randy Orton's buttons. Orton got disqualified, and he lost the World Heavyweight Championship. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes that route. But this is a feud, honestly, that should have ended before the two participants jumped ship from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania and the Superstar Shakeup. But if the continuation was merely to set up an easier handoff of the title to The Miz, all will be forgiven. It's not that Ambrose has underachieved as champion. It's more that Miz's character needs the belt more at the moment. So let the A-listers' resurgence continue. Now, I don't so much mind the continuation of this feud because Ambrose and Miz are great foils for one another. What bugs me more is that Ambrose's gimmick is honestly not working right now. I mean, I love the guy, I do. But usually I have what I consider a genius answer for what WWE creative should do with a wrestler, but I don't know what to do. What I do know is that Miz can elevate the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship and has plenty of other baby faces against which he can defend it. My hope is actually that Maurice will slap Ambrose 2 minutes into the match, given the couple absurd amounts of heel heat, as they take advantage of the stipulation, which basically means Ambrose cannot retain the title via disqualification. So the stipulation will without a doubt come into play, and The Miz will therefore win this match and become once again your 7-time Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Why else would they put that stipulation in, for goodness sakes? Why? Nothing more to say. MF, we see you know firsthand of what these two are capable of. You've seen it on SmackDown Live. They're doing it on Monday Night Raw. I mean, why else would WWE put in this ridiculous stipulation? Why?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If you're putting that stipulation out there for the whole world to know, why would you not put that out there? And what's the meaning? What's the purpose if you do that? Well, I will say this: if you do decide to do that, if you do decide for that to happen, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know. We're going to have a new Intercontinental Champion, and yes, it will be done by DQ. But what I think it's going to be is I could see Maurice do something to The Miz as a deliberate act for him to win the title. Because remember, Maurice doing something to The Miz will actually constitute as Maurice doing something on the behalf of Dean Ambrose. And that could cost him the title. Or you could have a wrestler come out, jump The Miz on the behalf of Ambrose, and that also would result in a disqualification and a crowning of a new champion. Or maybe a bump spot where the referee gets hit. You know, maybe it would be one of those cases where the referee would say, Ambrose, you pulled me in, therefore I'm going to disqualify. There's a number of scenarios how Ambrose can lose the belt by DQ. And I just blared out possibly 3 possible ideas. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And I'm just going to say it. I believe when it's all said and done, I'm with you, Anthony. We are going to crown a new Intercontinental Champion, and it is The Miz. I think The Miz will win the belt. He'll win it by DQ. Nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with the Miz winning the Intercontinental Championship, and it will be via a disqualification. So there's really nothing more to say. I mean, you guys pretty much touched on everything, so I'm just gonna give it to D.B. Woodson.
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous. More likely, Maurice is going to find a way of costing Ambrose and giving Miz the title. So, not much more to say. So let's move on.
And we move on to the main event of the evening. A fatal 5-way match that will be contested under Extreme Rules. Oh, yeah. That was for you, Justin Roberts. Yes, indeed. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe. The winner of this match will go on to the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view, July 9th, Great Balls of Fire in Dallas, Texas, at the American Airlines Center. And that man will challenge the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, for the WWE Universal Championship. Nothing more to say on that. Guru MF, Michael Fletcher, lucky you get to lead off on another top-tier match, let alone the main event.
Yes, indeed.
Before you start, I know I speak on behalf of all of us. Let's just get the obvious statement out of the way. We know this is going to be the fight of the night, far and away. We know this will steal the show. So the big question here, MF, who's going to Dallas and who's going to be the first one to finally challenge the Beast Incarnate, who's in hibernation for the Universal title?
Finn Balor. Do I even need another explanation or another reason to say it? It's Finn Balor. Let's look at this. Roman Reigns? No. I don't think they're going to do it. If they do Roman Reigns, fans are going to go nuts. Seth Rollins, as much as I like Rollins, I think they can do a different direction with him. Bray Wyatt? He just got off of a major storyline from WrestleMania, and to me, he's been underutilized at the forefront. Samoa Joe, I mean, good, but he's more of an enforcer. I mean, I don't think he's championship material, not yet in my eyes. Finn Balor, the original Universal Champion, the one that Paul Heyman said that he respected and he liked and he actually admired and everything, and basically praised the high heavens to Finn Balor a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Come on, guys. You think I'm stupid? No. At the end of the day, I'm going with the prediction that we are going to have a new number one contender, and it's going to be the Demon King, Finn Balor. He's going to Great Balls of Fire. He's fighting Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Get it? Got it? Good. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, it's obvious it's obvious Finn Balor's gonna win this. It's gonna win this fatal 5-way match. I mean, why on earth would they have Paul Heyman come out and do that little promo that he had with Finn Balor? I mean, if that's any indication that it's going to be Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor for the Universal title at Great Balls of Fire, I don't know what is. I mean, yeah. So there's really nothing more to say. So Finn Balor wins it. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
I agree. Finn Balor all the way. I mean, there's no other person for the job. I mean, he was the one who didn't lose the title. It was stripped because of an injury. He has more rights to that title than any of the other men in the ring. I agree with Fletch. You know, Wyatt just came off of, you know, the big storyline. You know, Rollins and Reigns pretty much probably going to feud each other, and Joe's an enforcer. So who else better to win it than Balor? So not much more to say. So it's yours, Anthony.
Yep, I'm going to make it unanimous. Finn Balor, the Demon King, will win this match. I mean, I'll break it down for you. Let's tackle this by process of elimination. Roman Reigns I think he's headed for potentially the continuation of the feud with Braun Strowman, and is unlikely to go up against Brock Lesnar until WrestleMania 34. And that's been the hot dirt sheet, that they want to do Lesnar and Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 34. So it's not going to be Roman. Seth Rollins, he has a ready-made rivalry to continue with Samoa Joe. That feud is far from over. So you can rule Rollins out. Because bouts like these are often won by those who you least expect, Joe has an outside chance, but I don't see him winning it either. I mean, but let's not kid ourselves. Joe and Lesnar, that's got the potential to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, be a man fight you will ever see. But I don't see that happening either. So that puts this between Balor and Wyatt, either of whom would be a fantastic choice. Wyatt winning would restore some of the credibility he lost by dropping the WWE Championship to Randy Orton at WrestleMania and serve as a palate cleanser with Lesnar before we get to his money feud entering SummerSlam, which apparently is going to be Braun Strowman. So that means Finn Balor would be the best choice. And WWE could play up a Demon versus Beast match heading into Great Balls of Fire. You can also consider this Raw's de facto version of a Money in the Bank match, featuring just as impressive, if not more so, of a lineup of superstars than SmackDown Live will feature during their pay-per-view on Father's Day night, June 18th. Nothing short of a 4+ star match will be acceptable here, considering the talent level and the stipulation. In the end, we have learned enough to realize the company has big plans for Finn Balor and appear ready to pick up where they left off with him before his injury at SummerSlam last year. Balor versus Brock Lesnar will be a fun way to spend the summer. And it will actually give us incentive and give us a reason to even bother going for the Great Balls of Fire event. So absolutely no doubts about this whatsoever. It's unanimous the whole way around. Winner and number one contender without question. It's the Demon King. It's Finn Balor. No doubt about it. It will be the fight of the night. So before we wrap it up, what I want to do. I want to get a quick thought from our panel here. I'll start with Didi Woodson because I know she's probably in a hurry. So Didi Woodson, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your excitement level heading into this pay-per-view, real quick?
Excitement level, okay. Probably an 8. Only because of the tag team match, because I'm a big Hardy's buff, and
of course
the match, the main event match, because of the quality of talent we have there. So those are probably the two biggest ones I'm looking forward to, because I think pretty much the rest of them are going to be pretty much predictable.
Yeah.
I know I didn't chime in on the cruiserweight, but that one I would probably agree with you guys on Aries winning that anyway. So even though, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I do know the two guys' quality of work, and out of the two, I think Aries has the more experience in this, and I think he could pull it over, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. But like I said, out of all of them, though, I think those are the two matches I'm looking forward to the most. Because, like I said, the rest of them are going to be pretty predictable, and who really cares about the Diva / Cruiserweight mixed tag match? I mean, that there's nothing there to really catch anybody's interest in it. So I mean, it's like a worthless match on this pay-per-view. So it would be something more for Raw or 205 than it would be for a pay-per-view, in my opinion. But that's just me. So
right,
that's about it.
All right. So I'm gonna make this an open forum. So Bullock or MF, whoever wants it next. 1 to 10, your excitement level for this Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
To me, I think it's going to be. I'm gonna I think this is going to be somewhere between 6 to 7 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. I mean, a couple of the matches I do agree are going to be really good. I mean, the main event, will definitely be something really good. I mean, the steel cage, same thing. But then again, same thing with the cruiserweight match. For the cruiserweight title, but everything else, I'm really not. It's pretty much going to be predictable. So, and you know how I am about predictability. It's I just don't like it. But we'll wait and see how it goes. So 6 to 7 out of 10 for me. So whoever wants it next, it's yours.
I'm going to go 7 out of 10. I think that Raw has an opportunity to really do something good here. It's just they got to deliver, and that's the only thing I can think of. If you deliver, if you come out with guns blazing like everybody is saying that they should come out with, of course the main event's going to be the best fight of the night. I think there's no argument there. We know it's going to be amazing. We know it's going to be one heck of a main event. But can you deliver it in the clutch in all the other matches? That's going to be the ramification of the rest of the night. You know, when it comes to the tag team title fight, when it comes to the Singapore Cane on a pole match, when it comes to, all the other matches. Of course, there's going to be some fights that we're not looking forward to, but you have to deliver. You need for it to deliver. It has to be a home run, or else it's going to be rendered useless in my eyes. And right now, Monday Night Raw, you've been slipping in the ratings, even though the quality of the shows maybe have been, good or decent for the most part, but you came off a pretty lackluster go home show, and a lot of people are looking at you as the A show, because technically Monday Night Raw is the A show of WWE programming. But slowly but surely, you're starting to see SmackDown Live is creeping on your heels, boys. And this is why you need to deliver. It's not essential. It's a must. You must deliver on Sunday night. More than anything else. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 because my expectation is that I think it will deliver. I think it will be a good show. So, Anthony, you can take it home.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how I can put a number on this. I'm just gonna go with my gut. I'm leaning more towards 50-50 myself. My excitement level right now is 5 out of 10, and the only reason being is this is a 50-50 show. When you look at the 6 matches that we have, I'm looking forward to there are 3 matches I'm really looking forward to. Those being the main event, the cruiserweight submission match, and the steel cage tag team title fight. The Intercontinental bout, I'm a little in the middle about, because I got a feeling that's going to be a predictable outcome in the whole 9 yards. The Singapore Cane on a pole match, insert your Vince Russo jokes here. I don't really have high hopes for that one either. And then, of course, you got that mixed tag match, which honestly does not belong on this card. And Dee Dee Woodson made it perfectly clear. She got that one absolutely right. You could have done that on a Monday Night Raw. Heck, you could have done it on 205 Live for all I care. But that match that has no place on this pay-per-view, and that thing is gonna
or the kickoff show.
Yeah, it should be on the kickoff show. Exactly, Bullock. I agree with that. So for me, even though I bleed the team red all the way to the day I die, honest to goodness, my excitement level is only 50-50. It's only 5 out of 10 for me. Sorry, I'm just being honest. I'm just telling it like it is. So, for me, the main event, the cruiserweight submission, and the tag team steel cage. Those are the only fights on this card I actually have a high excitement level about. The Intercontinental, like I said, I'm in the middle. The women's and the mixed tag, I don't really have high hopes for. So but I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong and that they hit this one out of the park. I mean, the last Raw exclusive event we had was Payback, and it ended up being a lot better than we initially thought. So hopefully they surprise the hell out of me again. So we'll find out what happens come this Sunday night when Monday Night Raw presents Extreme Rules live from the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, exclusively on the WWE Network and on some traditional pay-per-view outlets. So that'll put the bow on this. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning into this special Thursday night edition of Ridiculously Raw and the Wrestling Forum. Of course, we'll be back with you tomorrow night at this time for Strictly Sports. Of course, as you know, we're going to get into the. Let me just get it up on my end really quick. We're going to be because I do have it on my end. What we do know is that it's going to be I do know we're gonna debut a brand new segment on this show. Okay. We're gonna talk about the 2021 Super Bowl, which I believe it's Super Bowl 55. That just got moved from Los Angeles to Tampa Bay. We'll talk about that. We'll pay our respects to Cortez Kennedy, who passed away last week. MF will have his preview of UFC 212. And we're going to debut a brand new segment that was based on the heated exchange that Michael Fletcher and Michael Bullock had during that Aaron Hernandez segment 2 weeks ago called Outrage, where we will rant on any negative topic in the world of sports. And per Derek Ferrera, the catch is it can only be one. And Michael Bullock will not be here, but if Bullock was here, I know which one we would do. But we'll save that for the next one since he won't be here. And then we'll have our Major League Baseball power rankings to close it out. So that's it. But before we wrap up, we want to, on behalf of all of us here at the Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports, we want to wish Michael Bullock the absolute best, because this weekend he will be participating in the Special Olympics State Rhode Island Summer Games this weekend at the University of Rhode Island. So Bullock, we want to wish you well on that, and we are hopeful that you represent.
Thank you, Florio.
Yes, sir. And we hope that you come back and you represent us as only you can. Can't wait to hear all about your experiences. Most likely next week on Strictly Sports when you come back. So
yeah.
So we'll see you. So we will see you on Sunday night for our Extreme Rules recap, because you won't be with us for Strictly Sports. But don't worry, MF and I will hold it down like we always do. So
I'm pretty sure you guys will.
We always do. So we want to wish you the best, Bullock, and represent us the only way you know how. So that'll do it for this. So until tomorrow night for Strictly Sports, over right back here on the Tone 25. It's Anthony Florio here. It's the ridiculously overtime for a good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit the Twisted Angel Didi Whitson and the Hardcore Pipe Bomb Derek Ferrera. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Go it up, Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday, and until tomorrow night for Strictly Sports, you've been watching this very special edition of Ridiculously Raw and the Wrestling Forum, our WWE Extreme Rules 2017 preview right here on the Tone 25 and YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. Good night, everybody.